everybody.
Hi, Danielle.
Hi, Casey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you enjoying the stew? Second week in the
studio.
Stew Studio City.
You know what? I do feel really, really bad. I have to say, after living here longer, I hate it even more.
Wow, you doubled down, you dirty dog.
But enough about. I don't think Studio City deserves this much discussion.
Can I just say,
you know what? I'll just say.
Okay.
It's 4 words. I'm sorry to go after it again.
Please.
And I told my husband this last night, and he's like, "You need to stop. The vibrations are low."
What does that even mean?
The vibrations are very low here.
Do you mean that there's just not energy?
There's no get up and go.
I get up and go every goddamn
I know you
day.
do. I know you do. I don't know. I don't know. It's, I'm very attuned to vibrational energy.
Yeah. I do know that about you. Picking up my vibes right now?
Your vibes are always great.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Well,
so
good to
the vibrations
know. I'm gonna have a word with the rest of the hood. See if they can get it together.
Well, you'll find them at the farmer's market.
Oh, there was a robbery in my neighborhood recently.
Really?
Does that give you anything? Does that give you a buzz?
Does it give everyone a little thrill?
Give you
Maybe that's what it needs.
Yeah, it's dangerous in the stew.
I think I'm just mad at everyone in Studio City.
Well, I think you just want to be in your own house. And that's just where we're at. And I get
Soon
it.
we'll be recording from there in just a
the
month.
new Nook. I'm excited for the new Nook. What
Me
does
too.
it entail?
And you might hate my new neighborhood, and I urge you to speak freely.
You know me. I'm gonna love it.
I am living next door to a celeb.
Oh, I know.
We can't say who, right?
No, but I desire that person.
And I desire his wife.
Oh, I desire both of them. I'd like a little, much like, what's his name on Southern Charm? Not Craig, the other one. Austin on Southern Charm.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a threesome with those two.
What is Austin up to?
I don't know. We didn't get to watch this week because we'll catch up on Southern Charm next week. Just there was, we didn't have enough time.
But our guest has seen it, so we can let him touch on it.
Oh, of course. Anything going on with you?
Not much, about? Today I was volunteering at my son's school, and a very, very nice mom who's in charge of the yearbook said to me simply, I just want you to know the yearbook's going to print, and all the photos of your son are of him lying down, staring off. It was hard to hear. I said, I was like, have we gone to print yet? And I even texted her. I said, here's one of him standing. No. I tried to get it in. It is because of his celiac disease. I think he was, but then my husband was like, well, David's always looking on the fucking bright side. He's like, then we'll really remember that year. I'm like, I don't want to remember this year, but she's like, yeah, we tried to find some of him on 2 legs, but we couldn't.
I think you didn't need to hear that from the horse's mouth, if I will. I think it could have you would have seen it. No reason to rub your face in it in any way. Was it saying as a compliment?
Trying to give me a nice heads up, just like your son is looking, I don't even want to say more than tired. I would often walk into the classroom, just look for him and then have to look down and see him lying down.
But I mean, can I say I wish my daughter would lie down?
Your daughter has a lot of energy, but that's wonderful.
Break. I'm exhausted.
And you're writing big hours every day.
Yeah, I'm exhausted from this. I mean, she did give me a good Mother's Day, which was really nice.
Okay.
She really she woke up in the morning and she was like, "Mommy, this day is about you."
She said that?
Really was excited about it. It was something fun for her to do until around 2:00. And then she's like,
she's
done.
Raising the vibrations around here.
Oh, yeah. She was vibrating high.
That's so cute.
Yeah, it was really sweet. She wrote me a card and made me breakfast in bed. It was real. She got really in. This is the first year that she sort of was like, I'm into this holiday. Usually it's just, she's like, well, isn't this my day too? Because I made you a mom. She's had discussions like that.
My son said to me when I was like, it's Mother's Day tomorrow. He goes, wait, there's Daddy's Day too, right? I'm like, this fucking kid loves his dad so much. He can't even give you that. He was offended and upset that there might not be another time to celebrate David. I was like, oh my God.
I mean, I'm not going to. David's a great guy.
I know. Even my therapist, I was trying to bitch about him, and then I said one little minor thing he did, and she was like, he's wonderful. I was like, you've never even seen him, because normally his handsomeness kind of gets him over the edge on certain people.
Oh, okay.
She's never seen him.
She's never even laid eyes.
She was like, he's the best.
Just based on what you've told him, which I'm sure is the good and the bad.
Oh, I've told her everything.
And she's still on his side.
At points, she's like, this is what you prayed for. I'm like, is it? Is it? I will say Mother's Day, and then we will bring out our guest.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a darker day.
I know.
Well, darkness descended so hard. I didn't think it would. Since my mom has been gone for so long, I became enraged like I've never been enraged before. I had gotten a text from my mother-in-law, who's the sweetest, and she was saying, like, the day before, she was like, hey, does everyone want to meet at 1 at the club? And the day of Mother's Day, I start screaming through the top of my lungs through the house, why didn't you make your mother's reservation? You have a mother who's alive. Make a reservation for her. And my husband was like, she's the only one that belongs to the club. She's the only one who can. It was so dark. He's like, you seem a little bit dark today. Like the lights are going out. I was like, they're going out. Yeah. So then I went and sat with another friend whose mom had passed in front of a bed of roses at the Four Seasons roof deck.
Wow.
Which was very nice. But she saw a hummingbird, which is supposed to be representative of her mom, and I didn't see a butterfly for mine. Oh. My brother didn't either. This is going to end soon. But my brother called the next day to say, no, he didn't see a yellow butterfly, which is the way we identify my mother. We think she's a winged creature. But he said he saw 2 orange butterflies, and he thought maybe she met someone, and they merged. I was like, but why would 2... What does that mean? How do we get a yellow butterfly merging into 2 orange butterflies?
Here, can I have a theory?
Please. And I was like, I'm glad she met someone.
I think when you meet someone, when you meet a mate, and I like to think that in the beyond, we will have a companion, someone. I think it changes who you are. When you meet your...
Danielle, you're the nicest person that you're like genuinely...
No, this is what I'd like to believe. Okay. I'd like to believe this. I don't know. Who can say?
Who can say?
But I do believe that maybe it changed her form and her presence, and she met someone and they took on each other's qualities. Like maybe he was...
What was he?
I don't know. Maybe like a pink.
Right. We need the color wheel to know.
Yeah, I don't have the color wheel.
I thought maybe because she thought I was going to be at lunch at the club across town that she just couldn't get all the way across town.
Oh, you didn't get to the club?
I didn't go to the club.
Oh,
I couldn't pull myself to go anywhere. Right. So I was like, a butterfly can't get from Beverly Hills all the way over to Los Feliz.
I could barely do that.
Yeah, I could barely.
No, I think that...
Yeah, I think she just didn't know where I was.
I strongly felt you and your mother on Sunday. I had to text you because
that was so nice that you did.
But I truly felt you and your mother. Because it truly struck me.
No, that was so nice. And I thought it would be easier having kids, but I think it's more for her to miss. And I'm not mourning myself not having these things. Mm-hmm. Truly not. It's more that she doesn't get to have these things and see this son who's lying down all the time. She'll never see that yearbook photo of him looking off with vacant eyes.
Maybe she'll see the one when he's standing up straight next year.
Right. Maybe I'll see in the yearbook a yellow butterfly hovering.
Or maybe a yellow butterfly will come and look at the yearbook, or 2 orange ones.
I'll leave it out.
Leave it out at the club.
maybe she's still running around the club. And my brother and I will always be like, we see mom. And then we realize we're in a butterfly conservatory. We're somewhere where they are. And we're like, well,
that's good though.
Yeah.
You go to where she is. She doesn't always have to come to you.
Exactly. I'm sure she's fine. And I hope she has met someone. I told my dad, I was like, I think Fletcher thinks mom met someone. He was like, I got to go there. I got tickets for a Nats game. I was like, okay. He didn't seem upset.
Well, I guess he's happy for her, and he does have tickets for a Nats game.
Yeah, I guess he's happy for her. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's bring out our guest, shall we?
This is a man I adore.
But happy Mother's Day to every mother out there.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
To those who are mothers, who've lost their mothers, who are trying to become mothers. Everyone.
All of us.
Yeah.
Those who have mothers, those who don't. Those who
want to be. To Tinsley.
To Tinsley. And her eggs. And Dale's eggs.
I hope they got her a card and knew it was her day.
How do you think she sees them?
Maybe it was my mom with one of Tinsley's.
That was one of Tinsley's eggs. Yeah. That's what changed them orange.
I don't know why. That doesn't even make sense. Maybe my mom met Tinsley's dad.
Oh.
And the butterflies were them two.
Can we find out if Tinsley saw anybody?
Maybe the butterflies, go with me, was orange because, I can't even say this. I was going to say he's a red-faced alcoholic, so then he turned them. It makes no sense. Sorry, everyone. Let's bring out our guest, Danielle. Please.
Now, this is a gentleman I adore. I cannot get enough of him. And anytime,
unlike any other.
He's a dream. He's a scholar. He's a friend. Mm-hmm. He's the best dressed man this side of Cheviot Hill.
I would happy to though he has a husband, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would happy to date him on this earth or in the beyond.
Yes.
Please welcome Brian Moylan.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. And we have a little something for you because there's another happy to pass out, which is happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
Happy birthday.
This is Luann to you.
Happy birthday
to you.
to you. I'm a cabaret star. Happy birthday, dear Brian. Money can't buy your class.
Cabaret and friends.
Happy birthday to
Lou. Nice.
Wow.
Can I say what I wished for?
Yeah,
Please.
please.
I wish for Andy Cohen to fire Lisa Vanderpump.
Whoa! Okay, the vibrations
off.
have been raised in Studio City.
I mean, we're
You know
digging
what?
right in.
Much like the Housewives when they say to be continued, let's take a break and come right back for this. Brian, tell us everything.
We're back.
So, okay. I have a few thoughts.
Please.
And
All of them.
I think that we need Lisa Vanderpump to get fired for a number of reasons.
Okay.
Okay.
First of all, because she's been bad for the show for a while because all of her coworkers hate her. And she doesn't want to participate on the show.
All my coworkers hate me.
That's true.
Never stopped us.
I know.
And so I think she's bad for the show in general. And I think a very high profile original housewife needs to get fired to show the Teresa Giudices and the Nene Leakses of the world that no one is more important than the franchise. Because I think we've seen recently, especially with Teresa and Nene, this you're on my show. You're here because I want you to be.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere. And so I can do whatever I want. And I need Andy and Bravo to say, no, Nene, get in line.
Just set the tone for us.
Yes.
Yeah, show us we're not at your mercy.
It's
Right.
especially bold of Nene, who was off the show for a season or two.
The best season.
And it was a great season. I mean, it delivered
Yes.
in every way, shape, or form. So, and I had almost forgotten that Nene was there, and I was glad to have her back. And I know I wouldn't miss Teresa Giudice. I know I
No.
wouldn't miss her one lick.
Me neither.
No, they would probably have to fold that show, but I mean,
It would be the worst.
I mean,
but
Though I
if-
would admit, Margaret Josephson, where could she go her own show? Perhaps.
could Margaret float to New York and Barbara float to Jersey?
I don't think we could do Margaret in New York.
Yeah.
I don't think she's not of that world.
Maybe we need like a Long Island City house. There's like a midway point or something.
Yeah, maybe we need her and Gina to do like a Real Housewives of Long Island.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That would be great.
But I feel like
So you don't, can I just back you up?
Yes.
You're saying the cast members didn't like Lisa only after this recent scandal with the dog, or you're saying always? I can't quite tell.
I think that the problem with this dog scandal and with her lie detector test, which I'm sure we were going to talk about a lot
it's
in
the
a
only
moment,
thing we're going to talk about.
Bananas.
is that even if this particular story was not something she planted, I think
Which you believe she did.
which I believe if she didn't, someone in her camp did, and she knew about it.
Right. They should have hooked Blizzard up to that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Not just had him standing there.
Or right, one of them did
Sesh,
it.
Blizzard.
Yeah, whoever. And if not, if she didn't personally leak this story, she has exhibited a pattern of behavior over the course of the series that would lead everyone to believe that she did. And so if they didn't catch her on this one, they caught her on something else, and they're just annoyed at the way she treats them. Because I feel like if I had a coworker who was always making me look like shit and herself look good, I would hate her and want her gone. And I feel like that's the place where the women are currently.
And I have to say, it's really tough to watch her because she won't shoot with anyone right now.
Yes.
The only things we're getting are her kitchen and
Yes.
her dogs and John Sesha.
It's
Yeah.
getting like Grey Gardens, like we're only
yeah.
in her house.
Right. And it's like sad that the person who she has to reveal the kitchen renovation to is John Sesha.
That was
like,
so
yeah,
sad. That
like-
was a Saturday.
The
Right.
best kind of flashback was when Camille came over and Lisa Vanderpump was like, we've always been friends. And they did this crazy flashback of her just saying, you good? And Camille going, I'm great.
Yeah.
like 5 times.
And then the last flashback was 5 minutes ago. Remember that?
Well, they had the same exact
That's
conversation.
how few times we've seen each other is
I
that we've had to
appreciated
use
that.
5 minutes ago as a flashback.
I
It was
appreciated
bold.
that.
I loved it. And I couldn't tell if that was a read of Camille or a read of Lisa or both of them.
Unclear.
Because they have not been giving Lisa a kind edit this season.
I think that was
No.
Lisa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at all. And
Kind edit.
ugh,
I think they're kind of like, you don't produce this one.
right. No, I agree. And
It's hard for me because Vanderpump's on the air, I feel like Lisa's with us. So
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
not really able to separate her right now because I love her so much on Vanderpump.
Oh, well,
Yes.
she's the joy on Vanderpump.
the Lisa of Vanderpump is the Lisa I want.
Yes.
Right.
And the Lisa of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is the Lisa I can't stand.
Wow.
I wonder.
Tale
if-
of two Lisas.
Tale-
I
it's
wonder
just Tale
if,
of two Lisa.
but I wonder
Maybe
if
those are
in
the
our
butterflies.
lives,
Do you think those orange butterflies were the both Lisas?
Yeah.
I wonder
Wow.
though, in our lives, if we're all somebody's Vanderpump Rules Lisa and we're all somebody's Real Housewives Lisa.
That might be true.
Wow, Danielle.
I'm not trying to make bold statements, but here I did.
Here you are.
Wow. Something to think about. Something to chew
That's
on.
food for thought.
The most upsetting part of her conversation between, to me, but of the conversation between her and Camille, though, is when she showed no remorse or no sadness that Kyle was out of her life.
None.
Not a
When she
lick.
said, it's over.
It's over. And it was Kyle decided to end our friendship. And it was not like anything mutual. It was, this is something Kyle did to me. And I think and now that we've been with this woman for a decade,
20 years?
right, we've seen how she treated Cedric, how she treated Brandy Glanville, how
Guys,
she
is
treated.
it wrong? I don't care that she's treated these people badly.
Well,
Well, those were sort of
Cedric the Entertainer.
yeah,
those were sort of like Brandy was a piece of shit on the show
Absolutely.
anyway and treated people miserably. Though I miss her sometimes. She was a wild, like just a cannon that shot out of the air and you never knew what you were going to get
I
with
guess
Brandy.
at first when you said that, I was like, I cannot imagine the franchise without Lisa. But as you're saying, maybe I can.
yeah. I think we're going to.
And I think she's, most of the women will be like, we're not friends. And then like Ramona, 2 seconds later, they're friends. I don't think she's going to turn around on this one. or
No,
lay
I
down.
don't think
No.
she can. She's dug herself in so deep she can't
That
turn
she's
around.
taking a lie detector
But
test.
think about the episode before where they all went camping, and it was one of the best episodes we've
Oh,
had
I
in
had
a
a
while.
blast.
Just them like having fun together, and Dorit playing beer pong. I fucking hate Dorit.
Me too.
And I was like,
I
oh my god, I love
Dorit,
you.
and I know it's unpopular, but I truly love watching her.
I know. She's so watchable.
She's so, though I hate PK again.
Oh
I
my god,
He's
he's so
awful.
gross.
And I don't like that thing where like men can't watch their children for a night. Like it makes me a little like,
Yes.
like even a night she has to like call her mother to come across the country
And take
for
care of
one-
PK.
Yeah, take
Right.
care of my
PK's
3
fed.
children. Like I don't like the infantilizing of husband.
Yes.
Like it steps on all my triggers. But so that, like the fact that he can't handle himself. What, he's so busy managing Boy George, wild career, he can't quite possibly take care of his children for a night.
I have to hand it to Kyle. I thought it was pretty big of her and Maurizio to go to this event with, like, she will really forgive and forget,
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of,
Yeah,
and move forward.
and
and move on to Mauricio's crotch and grind up on it
Oh
when
my
she has
God,
had a
that
little bit
was
of tequila. in
crazy.
her.
Guys, that was crazy, as was when Edwin dropped down to the ground. What was he doing?
That was.
oh my god.
I'm disgusted by Edwin and
Me too.
was attracted to him at that
Ew,
moment.
no, Danielle.
Ew,
no, you
no.
weren't. Danielle,
No,
no.
no, no.
I was at that moment.
The most upsetting thing about Edwin to me was that he had on a Skyline security hat, and I was like, no, Edwin, you are not going to have the agency hat of your own.
The Skyline Security is no agency.
No,
It's no
I
agency.
bet they didn't
Agency
make
hat
that
is
hat in
iconic.
bulk. He was just like, I just need one.
right.
Skyline security hat.
Why can't you buy the agency hat on the internet?
I saw.
You tried?
Yeah, I
Someone's
went
gotta
to
be
the
able to get
agency
it for you.
website, and I was like, why
Didn't
isn't
we
there
get
one?
one? Didn't we have one for a minute? Did someone?
I think I would remember. Maybe we did.
I feel like we did for a minute.
Brian, someone will send you one.
I want the
I
agency
saw
hat.
someone in one the other day, and I was almost like, like I felt like I knew them, like we were friends. And then I was like, oh yeah, I don't know anyone that works at the agency. It's just like my own personal
What
thing.
do you think's going on with PK's finances?
I think PK's finances are horrible. And I've been calling their house ever since they started on the show Shirley Rented Manor. Because, I mean, that house is surely rented.
Oh, that house is a mess.
That house is awful.
It's the worst house on any of the shows ever, and that includes Dorinda's new apartment. Like,
Oh my God,
It
Dorinda's
is
new apartment is
Watching
awful.
Dorinda bop down in Sutton Place Lane, where the elders go to die.
saying
Oh my
hello to
God.
every grocer, candy
Shopkeeper.
shop owner, haberdasher.
It was like the start of Beauty and the
I was
Beast.
just gonna say, it was like
but
there's something
sad.
strange and almost kind. And her walking in her like Gucci white loafers.
Again, in a small town, sure, why not? But this is New York goddamn city, and I don't care. No one is going in to their shopkeep and making good friends the day that they've been, like the first day they've been there.
I mean, I would rather
Wild.
see her giving a treat to the bodega cat than like going to the, cheese monger or whatever the hell she was doing.
To the bodega cat. And now a lot of people have been tweeting me to just have us comment quickly on Erica Jane's new testimonial.
I screamed.
I
when
screamed.
saw
I
it.
screamed.
Just a part of a painting, a part of a wild painting.
What was the hat?
Oh, apparently it is some sort of designer look. And
Okay.
I don't know if this is conscious, but to me, it looks like our book cover. And that makes me very happy. And I hope she's selling more copies.
Wow. And I like the way you seamlessly worked it in, much like the Housewives.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's crazy.
Have you maintained a relationship with her since?
Yeah, we chat every now and again.
Are you on a
worked-
text chain?
We are on a text chain and we have worked on some projects here and there.
Has she talked about us?
No, she hasn't. Sorry.
Strange.
But I'll ask her about
That
you
was really hard to hear.
Yeah.
next time I talk to her.
It was hard because you didn't know how to handle it, but then you were just like, I got to be honest. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't there
Yeah.
was no other answer, so you couldn't give another answer.
Yeah.
And that's-
Now, guys, okay, so I was watching, but you know how sometimes with Housewives you can do like 50 other things
Oh, yeah.
and
Yes.
then see
When I
it
do my
all.
best work.
You
Yeah.
can see it all except for when we missed the man singing in Nini's foyer.
Oh my God, I was so mad at you at the gym listening to that. I was
Everybody
like,
was.
what is wrong with you ladies?
It was a very tough moment.
I was never screamed at more on the internet than when we missed that gentleman.
It was wild.
And we had
And
the nerve to say to
Kristen-
Kristen Wiig, like, you're insane.
And she was literally shaking and screaming and
She was
flapping
like,
her arms.
She was like, am I losing my mind?
She
Have
said
I
she was
lost-"
worried about her mental capacities.
We totally gaslighted her in a
You-
way.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm ashamed of.
So, Brian, I glanced up very quickly, you guys, just at the moment that Mr. Girardi walked backstage to see Erica. And I am not kidding you, hand to God, and I'll take a lie detector test. I was like, oh, there's Erica's grandpa. That's nice he came. Like, what I saw, it wasn't that I saw him. I saw an energy that was like grandpa, her. Like, it's not a
Interesting.
marriage. What is it?
I have listened. I've never met Tom. I have been there when she's talked to Tom on the phone. I have heard her talk about Tom at length, and they seem closer than they appear on television. I think he's very uncomfortable on television.
Does he have big dick energy?
BDE.
I don't know.
I think he does.
I
he
think
does.
Mikey does. I think those dancers do for sure.
Well,
Okay,
he was
how
coming
about-
out saying
oh my
like
God.
big dick energy. Okay, big dick energy 1, big dick energy 2.
Yes.
I love
Making
him
me
so much.
laugh.
Oh my God.
How about when PK was greeting the dancers and going, lovely, lovely
Oh, good
job,
job,
amazing. He goes,
amazing."
respect man, and just shaking hands with those topless dancers.
I just felt like he
Men, I
was
call them,
like,
but they were topless.
Manager to dancer, great job out there.
Well,
like, that's the energy.
What I thought was crazy about that is I think PK sees himself as equivalent to those. Like, I think PK sees himself as like those guys.
Oh, or above.
Yeah.
Way
and
above.
he's like, great job. Like recognizing like, and it's like,
Right.
no, they're hot, nubile young gentlemen. And you are, a sagging bull scrotum. Like,
to put it plainly.
Hey, that's not fair to that bull scrotum.
oh my God.
What else happened in this
Oh.
episode? So Camille is just so. Do you think Camille will be with us next year?
Well,
And why aren't we meeting her guy more?
I saw on Twitter that Camille was getting. Should I
Wait,
wait?
one sec.
So I saw on Twitter that Camille is angry that she is not getting a bonus for being on the reunion specials like the other ladies are. And she was kind of saying, I brought it this season and I'm not getting what they are giving me. So I
Keep
don't.
it to yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, and so
As though she thinks like her fans are going to rally around her, and I bet just no one even responded.
I want to say
No.
to Camille, you should feel lucky that you're on this show.
Lucky that I'm watching you
Yeah,
every week.
lucky that we're bearing with you.
Yeah, I like Camille when they would just show up and be like, "Hi," and then it would say Camille, and then that's
Yes.
it. That's all you got of her.
I like that too.
And then
Right.
sometimes you'd see her like body roll and like if there was music playing, and that's
Yes.
what we needed.
And it's like, you know how you have a good friend and you go to their parties and you run into somebody else and you like say, "Oh, hi, it's so great to see you," and then you
And then
never
that's
talk to
it.
them again.
Yeah.
Like that's what I want out of. I just want Camille to show up and be like, "Oh, Camille's here," and then have her not say anything and talk about.
I've never
Brett
been
Kavanaugh.
less touched than when I saw her in that wedding dress.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I was usually when I see any of these women in a dress or in a big change of life, I'm in tears, and I was truly just like, ugh, I can't believe I have to watch this bullshit. That's
I
what
couldn't
felt.
believe that conversation with her and Lisa, where Lisa's like, "I'm sorry to invite you over to come so quickly." She's like, literally the day before Camille's wedding, so this wasn't planned. She was like, "I'll come right over. I'm so looking forward to this." It was just so weird, that conversation
Yes.
they had, and probably so planned.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
Camille's like decked out to the nines, and
no,
I was
it's
like,
some
yeah,
like
you were just-
giant Muppet
then what
jacket.
with like hot pants
And
Yeah.
what was that, like pink backpack?
Yes,
So
with heels.
right. Like yeah. Did she step out as an extra in Party Girl or something? I don't know what
Her
she
and
was doing.
Kyle are in some type of thing now, right? I thought
Camille?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Something's
don't
going
know
on
about
with
that,
them.
but that might just be me not paying close enough attention to the Daily Mail, which I can buy in paper form now that I live in London.
Oh, what a dream. What a treat.
I mean, yeah,
Wait, you live in London?
I live in London.
Yes.
How did I miss this? I knew you went there all the time.
It's
That's
because I
he
live
lives
there.
You're a lady of London?
I am, yes. I moved there like a year ago.
Brian, I'm everything. I'm shocked. I'm embarrassed. I'm
Jealous.
jealous. Yeah.
Whenever you want to come visit, we're there.
Wow.
Their reality television is so far superior to ours.
Like, what do we have
What
going
could we watch,
on?
and can we get
Okay.
any of it?
I'm going to tell you about, well, first of all, Love Island is all on Hulu.
Oh, yes. You did
need
come
to
to
watch
us with that,
Love
and we have
Island.
to get on
Have I
that.
told you about My Face or Yours?
No.
Oh boy.
My Face or Yours is one of the best shows ever. It's on Comedy Central in the UK, which is different from Comedy Central
I
here.
would say I can't imagine them having any lady programming on
Yeah,
Comedy
no. And so it's two comedians, and they have like reality stars come on, but not our reality stars, like people who are on the challenge, like that kind of caliber of people.
Okay.
And they come on with their partner, gay, straight, whatever. And so let's say it's a guy and a girl. And so the guy and the girl are sitting on the couch, and they pull the audience and they show like 6 pictures of random women. And the guy has to say who he thinks the audience thinks is more attractive than his partner.
No.
Then they
Danielle's mouth is just open.
bring out like 5 people like from the audience, and they pull the audience, and he has to say which of those people he thinks are more or less attractive than his partner, and they get like money if he's
This
right.
is the worst show
This
and
is
the best
horrible.
show.
Oh, wait.
Horrible.
And then the third round, they bring out people they know. So they'll bring out his ex-girlfriend, and he has to say who's hotter. They'll bring out her best
But
friend.
wait, it's not him saying who's hotter. He's saying who he thinks the audience will think. But then are we to know that that's what he thinks?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
This
Yeah.
is
Wild. It's so
heartbreaking.
base.
It's insane. And there's another very
And what
quality
a crazy
show.
title. My face
These
or
are
yours?
It doesn't
It's a
I thought it
play.
was going to be a
That.
plastic surgery show. For
Someone was like
sure.
microdosing when they thought of that. I love
Yeah.
it.
Then there's another show called Baywatch, BAE Watch.
Oh God.
And it's a program where they tell young couples.
We think
in-
of London as so classy, but they're dirty
they
little
are
birds.
trashy.
Oh, they're no,
Fuck.
their like gossip rags are so far beneath even where our shit ass country will stoop.
Oh my God, it's so bad. And so Baywatch is a brilliant show where they have young couples in their 20s, very attractive couples, and they tell them that they're going on a show and they're sending them to like a luxury villa. and they're going on a show where their relationship is going to be judged. And so they're in this suite, and there are all these cameras everywhere, and there's two-way mirrors. And in the next room in the villa is their parents. And they're watching everything that happens.
Are they sitting together, the two sets of parents?
Well, usually you have one set first, and then the other set comes on, and then they meet. And these are parents who have never met the other. So it'll be like the guy's mom and dad, and they've never met the girl. And so they're there, and they're watching everything. They can leave like questions for them. They can ask. So the producers interview the couples, and the parents are feeding them the questions to ask the kids. And then at the end of it, they go and have to watch
Them have sex?
They don't have sex because they know that there are cameras and stuff.
Okay.
But you'll see them like getting wasted, behaving inappropriately, doing all sorts of stuff. And the real drama is never like the guy's mom doesn't know the girl, and it's never her being mean to the girl. It's her being like, my son told me he didn't drink and now he's wasted. It's like them learning things about their own kids that they never knew.
And so then the reveal, the couple doesn't know it's their parents sitting there.
And then the couple goes to dinner one night, and both sets of their parents are sitting there, and then they have to watch back all the footage of the weekend sitting on a couch with their parents.
Then it becomes a people's couch.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which the people's couch is called Gogglebox in the UK. And it is super popular. Gogglebox, which is like Britishism equivalent to boob tube. They call it the Gogglebox.
Are you watching the Google box?
Are you going to start affecting a Dorit-like accent?
I hope not, but I sometimes find myself using British idioms. Like one has to call them trousers rather than pants, because pants means underwear. So if you say, I got that on my pants, they would think that
you got it on your
underwear.
It's by necessity.
Yeah. Wow. So sometimes to make sense to the British people, you just have to speak their language. But I will sound like this forever.
Wow. Well, thank you for these recommendations. Let's take a quick break.
Okay.
Guys, we're back. Should we move on to New York? Are we missing a ton from Beverly Hills?
Well, we need to talk about the lie detector.
Oh God. Of course.
Now, the fact that Lisa doesn't think that we don't think that she could get through a lie detector test is insane, because that woman is a cold fish. And I believe that she could murder a man and take a lie detector test and be fine.
100 million%.
So I don't think she could, but I think what she feels incredibly confident about is that as a technicality, she didn't put the article out there. I'm curious to see if they will ask her, did you tell someone to do it?
Well, that's the thing is, this is someone she's paying to give her a lie detector test, and she's giving them the questions to ask her. Sure. It's not like, and she said to Camille, what do you want me to take a lie detector test? And then she went, aha, I'm going to take, and now she's going to go to the women and be like, I took a lie detector test. And they're going to be like, none of us asked you to do that. Like, we didn't believe you then, and we don't believe you now.
Or also, they should have been allowed to hire the person.
Right. Or she should have said,
so you're saying she should have taken a lie detector test?
Yes, 100%. And I love this idea. I think we should have taken like a neutral party's lie detector. The way they have like a psychiatrist come on as a character witness, like one from their side, one from our side, and then a middle person, and combine the results.
So who do you think leaked the story?
And then we all just redo and we all just kind of like jump back into our friendships where we left them off.
Ideally.
Yes, and they're like, well, you didn't lie. Like the minute the lie detector test is out there, the friendship is out the window. Yes.
I don't know. I've seen these women come back from so much worse.
That is true. I mean,
I don't know. In the words of my mother-in-law, who told me today at lunch, I like Lisa.
Really?
I don't know why. She's kind of gotten me this year, and I've never been like a huge Lisa fan. I think you're right that she should probably go.
She has been through something tragic this year, and that's for sure. But this behavior and her planting stories and stuff, this is as old as time.
Yes. And I just
wish.
Isn't
that what we want out of our Real Housewives? You guys are acting like suddenly holier than thou.
No, I do. And I wish that if Lisa really didn't do this, she could have said something to the effect of, okay, I did shady shit before, but I didn't do this one. But that she won't.
That would help us. That would help her.
Right. That she won't own up to any of it. And I think is what is upsetting them.
Do you think there's any chance in hell we have a reunion coming to us where she's like, I did. I did it.
No.
I did
no.
it. I know. But that would be so
fucking
She
great.
would never.
Never.
Have they filmed the reunion yet?
No, I
No.
don't think so.
And is she even going to appear?
Good question.
I don't think so. Because she won't put herself through anything.
She does not want to look bad. It is very hard for her
Kyle
to want
hit
to.
the nail on the head. She cares about her image more than she cares about her friendships. And that's just it. That's 100% right.
I'm loving Kyle this year.
Me too, except for the hats and the shiny car.
Of course.
Those were low
Of course.
moments.
Low, and when
moments.
she was running through her backyard.
Yeah, that was to run a mile through your backyard. It's so
It was tough.
weird.
And she's like, don't mind the dogs.
She's always running from those dogs. I swear.
I
to
know. Again, I
God.
don't need any more Teddy Kyle like escapades.
I don't need Teddy. That's
don't
who I
need
don't
Teddy.
need.
No, God,
Don't
no.
need
No one
Teddy.
needs Teddy. They have
Don't-
to bring Portia into her scenes. Talk about raise the
true,
vibrational
yeah.
energy.
You know what I really want? I want for Teddy to go, for Lisa to go, and for Cynthia Bailey to marry Mike Hill and move to Los Angeles and be on the Real
What
Housewives
a
of Beverly Hills.
dream.
Wow.
That's what I want more than anything.
That's a great idea.
I love that idea.
Because I think Cynthia's holding on to not moving because of her job in Atlanta. But if she knew she had a job waiting for her,
Yes.
Andrew Cohen.
And
Paging Andrew Cohen.
and we could use some ladies of color on a not Atlanta or Potomac.
of course
Oh,
we
yes,
should.
please.
Yeah. So
That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
I love it.
thank you.
Cynthia, listen, hear the call.
We're here
Chill.
for you.
Cyrus
Just
call to
Chill, Cynthia.
There's got to be a lake in Studio City for her to move on.
Yes. Isn't it like Lake Studio or something?
no.
Balboa Lake?
Well, that's more Encino, but sure.
Okay.
She
That
can
sounds
move on
right
up
for
to
her.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
where I think. Doesn't Kyle live in Encino or something like that?
No, Kyle's right around the bend.
Oh,
She's in the valley.
Ooh, hey girl.
Hey, girl. All right. Shall we
Yes,
discuss
let's talk
New York?
Yes, we shall.
Now there were some doozies in tonight's episode.
Mhm.
First of all, there was what I thought was the most shocking statement of all when Luann says,
I'm not going to apologize for being a cabaret star.
She's simply not going to apologize
"Not
for
gonna
that.
do
No.
this."
Nor should
Why should she have to?
No, she shouldn't. She's built this career.
She built this city.
Truly delusional, this woman.
She's so fucking delusional.
I was having dinner with a friend of mine who isn't a cabaret star, but he is a cabaret performer. He's performed in a number of venues around New York City. And we were talking about Luann, and he said, Luann is the only person who aspires to be cabaret stars. Like, I know all the cabaret stars, and they're all like, I don't want to be a cabaret star. This life is awful. So, like, for Luann to aspire to that
To
is
that.
like a little crazy.
That's so interesting. Because I do, Danielle and I, we probably both think of a cabaret as like this throwback kind of
it's
dreamy.
where I can, yes, and it's where I can speak, sing all my songs, and no one will glance askew at me.
Right.
But in my head, I'm like thinking of like Elaine Stritch's show
Yes.
and like that. That's not what we're getting here.
No, we're getting like,
Do you hate Luann?
Tough question.
I think that Luann is a bad person. However, I appreciate her dedication to the reality television arts and sciences, and
She is a graduate.
we've been with especially the New York ladies for so long that they feel like fixtures in my life.
Yeah,
And I don't know that
and they keep changing the game.
Yeah.
New York,
They do.
you know,
They do.
and I
They bob and swerve.
And I appreciate it goes places I couldn't have imagined.
Like
Or
that tiny house.
That tiny,
That
like
tiny
the, like
house.
that.
I said it's like that tiny house
circular
movement.
house.
it 100%.
The little house.
It's beautiful, but it's just a shock and a surprise, especially as it's across the lake and gazing as, and they kept editing us over to the $6 million house that is just beyond her reach. And if that's not a metaphor,
It was devastating when they ended the episode, seeing the little dock and the little tiny house from afar, and they just put the to be continued over it. I was like, these people are so shady.
I also don't understand that extra kitchen in the guest
that
room.
is a strange decision. Now, did that come with the house, or she made that the house?
I
wasn't
think that came with the house. I would hope. I don't know why one would build a kitchen in a guest room unless she was Airbnb it out during the
Might
week.
be.
Maybe.
that is not a
Like,
bad call.
Where
Random
are all the women
strangers.
staying? Are they just going
That's what I
home?
asked, and you said a hotel.
Yeah, they
correct?
mentioned that they're going to a hotel.
Okay, back in the city.
Yeah, right, they're going right back
No,
home.
I noticed something in this episode which came as a shock to me, and but she, she's mentioned cabaret so many times, Luann, and they're drinking to it, and they're saying like cabaret, 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 cabaret. I've noticed that in Luann's life, cabaret is the new Tom.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You're so right.
Cabaret's the new Tom.
You're so right.
She needs like that something to hold on to be fixated on.
It's kind of like a Sheena Shea like kind of
Yes,
exactly.
100%.
tick.
Well, and I think that with the cabaret and the house, she said when they got there, like, what do you think, guys? Didn't I land on my feet? And it's all this thing like she's trying to prove to everybody that she's come out the other side. And
but it's too quick. It's like she's not even like through the first hurdle of the other side.
Yes. And her pretending to be through it is messier than just letting on to the reality of I'm really fragile and everything's a mess and I don't know what I'm doing with my life right now.
Well, literally like 3 days after she was arrested, she was like, I feel good. I pulled it together and like, I'm good.
It's and I understand that need to just hope that it's fine, that to want to get to the other side of something hard and difficult and a struggle, because I've been there myself. But you can't. You have to go through it, because that's why she keeps stumbling and falling quite literally.
Quite literally.
Quite literally.
I mean, she's got her new, statement necklace pieces.
The cabaret collection.
Which
for
a wonderful...
superjeweler.com.
Okay. A wonderful... I just did an episode with Ms. June Diane of Grace and Frankie, and a lovely editor on the show brought me and gave me a statement piece from Lou's collection, kind of like a turquoise green and then some wood.
Now,
interesting.
She's mixing metals. She's mixing surfaces.
Can your neck carry it?
No.
It feels...
broke my neck.
Can I want to ask this in a tasteful way.
Okay.
Because it was a gift. What is the quality of construction on this piece of jewelry?
I have to say, so it's not great, but it's a bit better than I would have thought. I actually kind of liked the one Luann was wearing tonight with all the colors.
I will say, I once purchased a piece of Gretchen Christine Butte jewelry that fell apart as I lifted it from the box. So I have to say, like, the fact that it's still together is
something.
Feather in her cap.
A feather in her cap that when I, laid it down, it didn't disintegrate.
I think that's a boon.
And have you figured out how to wear such a piece of jewelry?
Look, guys, I haven't gone down that far on the road yet with it, but I'm going to figure it out and
just
get it on.
Just don't let the piece wear you, is all I'm asking, Casey.
Thank you so much, Danielle. Now, Tinsley. So I've heard from a few sources that have met Miss T, Lady T, that she is truly, no tagging, a devastating character in life, like a tragic figure.
How so?
Like, just, when she was screaming and shouting and crying, I'm miserable. Like, that's what she
I will never
is
forget
in
that.
life.
Got it.
Like, that's who you're meeting.
Got it. Interesting.
You're not meeting the bubbly fun. You're just not getting that.
Yeah. I think that this episode was interesting because we see, like she was saying, my mother programmed me to want to marry and have kids. And now that she has a failed marriage and no kids, she just has no value in herself, which I think is sad.
It's devastating.
And I was watching the show earlier this season, and I think it was when she was talking about her father at the circus. And I realized that more than anything, Real Housewives of New York is a supernatural show because all of these women are haunted. They're all haunted by ghosts, and they're all like right there. And sometimes they're literal, like Richard's balloon.
Right.
And sometimes they're a little bit different.
So you think her dad was like the ladder she climbed down on?
I don't know, something. But she is haunted by wanting this life that she just isn't going to have, and she can't reprogram herself to want something different.
You're so right. They're all haunted.
Yeah.
They are.
They're all ghosts and haunted by ghosts.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. You were saying, Danielle, Sonia's obsession with knocking Sonia down.
With knocking Tinsley down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Tinsley down.
I don't know what she's trying to do or what she sees in her or what triggers Sonia with Tinsley. But it's a side of her we never see. I will say, though, on the opposite side, though, Sonia had some really funny lines this episode.
Oh, I love her.
I love her so much.
She had one line that really cracked me up. She said when they were talking about Luann and they had just gotten in their fight with Luann, and she says, all right, let's Ramona-size it, package it, and move on. I'd like that on a t-shirt. Let's Ramona-size it, package it, and move on.
I loved when she told Barbara Kay that she was gender liquid. Which
It just means you'll go anywhere.
I believe that Sonia believes that gender liquid is an actual biological substance. Like that's what gives your fetus a gender in the womb. Like you're just that's the gender liquid.
Your gender
that's
liquid.
the gender,
Gender
liquid.
liquid. I loved when she arrived in a luxury bus with her dog, brushing the dog, chatting with the dog,
And then brushing her own hair with the
Yeah.
dog's brush.
It's so good.
And you know, if that dog wasn't there, she would have talked to herself that way the whole ride.
Oh, the cup holder.
I wish I was as good company to myself as Sonia is to herself.
Yeah.
Sonia's so comfortable with herself and in her skin. I just love her.
I adore her.
She
too.
doesn't need to have brushed today's hair because
No.
she's got yesterday's hair, and that's good enough.
Yeah, it was kind of like a little rat's nest tonight, but she wore it very effortlessly.
She wears it well.
Why were the women doing a drinking game with a woman freshly sober?
I mean, why was Sonia showing up with only a bottle of champagne to a sober woman's
And
house?
then immediately was like, well, you know how it is. I've just been drinking too much. Well, you know. I mean, I'm either drinking too much or I'm not drinking at all. And Luann's like, I know. It was just so tone deaf and crazy. I'm almost thinking it's because do they know Luann isn't sober? Or no, they're just so...
I
just
think
so
they're just so
narcissistic.
wrapped
Okay.
up in their.
They don't
Okay.
care. They know that Luann is sober. They don't care.
As Tinsley said, like, she can't do that. You can't go up to that little, like, haunted cottage. That
No.
Yeah, without alcohol.
Yeah, Ramona
No.
said it too. If we're going upstate, we have to drink. Like,
Now,
but there's
Ramona's
nothing else to do
party,
upstate.
Brian, you pointed out something about Ramona's birthday party.
Yeah, and we used to go to that party.
Yeah, we used to be there.
Yeah.
Not
Invited.
only were Sonia and the gang not invited, we weren't invited.
No.
I didn't get an invite, did you?
I sure didn't.
No, it was like a Barbara Walters lookalike contest at that birthday party.
Oh my god! The photo flashed way too slow.
I need to go back tonight.
If
and
someone
like
will send me a
freeze
photo of it,
frame
I
on
want to
that.
go through every woman and just
touchdown.
touch down, you know, and really get in there and
I
enlarge.
hope Dorinda's realtor was there.
I think I might have seen her kind of middle, just right.
Yeah.
It was like a
There
lot of
are-
cat women.
I will
Yeah.
say that there were a lot of women in New York that look like Dorinda's realtor,
yeah.
and I'm
yeah.
related
And Ramona
to some
has,
of them.
has cornered the market of all of
Oh,
them.
Yeah.
That Instagram video was so insane when Ramona's like, I'm celebrating me for a month. She's a fucking nut. Why
To-
didn't she invite Sonia?
Why didn't she invite any of us? We used to go. She doesn't seem in it this season, where she's
No.
always leaving early. She's always
You're
doing something.
And it's a big mistake. She's coasting.
Ramona is riding dick night after night, and I believe that in my heart.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't disagree with you.
Okay.
But I really want her and Mario Singer to get back together.
I've never wanted anything more. They
Oh my
deserve
God.
each other. There is still a spark. There's
There's
a big spark.
Yeah.
Big
They're
spark.
endgame, as the kids say.
They're what?
Endgame.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like to see Ramona and Bethany at least chatting now. And granted, Ramona was like doing an insane sit down with Bethany, but she was like, I'm going to watch how I say this.
Oh,
But-
wow.
Right.
Yeah.
But I like that they're at least speaking and it's not so contentious. And I thought Bethany really kept her cool way
Yes.
more than I've ever seen her when Luann went in on her about leaving the cabaret that had not started yet to relieve her housekeeper.
Yeah, I
I-
thought Bethany was standing strong during that
Mhm.
because Luann was saying crazy things that would, for me, have been so triggering. I would have just started screaming and
And she
run
does.
away.
And the to be continued, you know, she did get up.
Of
and,
course, but I would have gotten up
Yep.
sooner. Is what I'm saying.
And she certainly would have in the
Mhm.
past.
Of all the Housewives fights we've ever seen, I've never seen one as easily adjudicated as this one because Luann is so clearly wrong.
Yeah.
And, like, what she's saying is nonsense. And it makes absolutely no sense to anyone but
Luann's
her.
wrong about a lot of things, including that she says when she's gotten information about something. Well, now we've got the 911.
It's so good. Now, Barbara Kay, you want gone.
Yeah.
I do. She's bringing us nothing.
No,
Not a
except
single
for
thing.
her gender liquid.
Except for her Gender Liquid,
That's all
which
she's
is
bringing.
the new lube line I'm launching. Gender Liquid by Brian J. Moylan.
I mean, anything else? It was kind of like an in between episode.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
enjoyed myself. I wasn't mad.
It was pleasant.
Yeah, I feel like this season of New York in general has been a little bit tamer, but after the gift we had of last season, I'm
Wow.
happy to,
Take a little break.
Yeah.
It's funny what you're saying that they're our family now, because watching them all at Lou's kind of gathered around, and when Bethany stood up, I really, not as a joke, I thought for a second I'm watching like my family at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they are our family members in a way. It's like, oh, we know this one's going to say that one. That one's pretty good today. Oh, she's going. Like that's our family.
Well, in New York especially, we have the most original cast members of any of them. We have Bethany, Ramona, Luann. Sonia's been on since season like 2 or 3.
To me, Sonia's original.
Yeah.
She's vintage.
I mean, Dorinda's been around for a while. It's like you're watching people with deep, long, real relationships in a way that you're not getting in most of the other places.
Yeah.
I
And
hear
Tinsley, I think, great addition.
Oh, I remember
Yes.
the first season when I was like, this ain't gonna last, and wow,
You
she
know
was
what?
really
They're
pulled
going to
through.
tear Tinsley limb from limb. There will
Yes.
be nothing left of her when they're done. They are preying upon her in a way that is really upsetting.
Well, and I think that Tinsley's first season, she was standing next to Sonia, and Tinsley's second season, she was standing next to Carol Radziwill, and now she's on her own, and she's doing better than ever. And by better than ever, I mean worse than ever, but better
Sure.
for all of us.
And that's a very tough kind of part she's doing with that
Yeah,
piece
that
of
was
hair.
that
Yeah.
swoop was hard to watch tonight. That was probably the hardest thing I had to watch this
See,
evening.
she's trying to get Bethany to take her under her wing, and it's not
Bethany is a no-go.
catching on.
It's not gonna
No.
happen.
I would have thought Bethany would do it, but I don't think she's up for
No,
it.
I don't think Bethany.
Bethany's got too much going on with this fucking court case.
And I.
Oh my God.
Did you hear that the prosecutor played an episode of Real Housewives of New York? The one last week or a couple weeks ago when Bethany was in the therapy session and she said something about Dennis's opioid addiction or something?
Yes, I did hear about this.
Yeah, and Bethany said to him, "It sounds like you're more of a fan than I am," or
Yes,
something like
I
that.
love
Yeah,
her. I have to
Not
say,
even kind of softening the edges for the witness stand.
I
Yeah.
have such hatred towards Jason Hoppy, and I think
I do
he
too, but
is-
Danielle, keep it down. I'm scared of him. He's fucking scary. I really believe that.
I
I don't want him coming to the
No, I
studio.
don't. No.
there's something I don't understand about him because he is clearly an awful monster, but what he does to Bethany and what we saw on television doesn't match up, and I don't know.
There's such a
what
disconnect.
happened to
it's a
him.
gaping disconnect.
Yeah,
How can we fill in the pieces?
I don't know.
I want to go on like genealogy.com the way these women are like solving crimes and figure out through DNA what's happened.
Well, I think if you think about it, we only saw him on screen for 2 or 3 seasons,
That's
and
a
it was
lot,
but,
Danielle.
But
Yeah.
we didn't see like
Happily ever after.
Yeah, and we saw him on Happily Ever After, where
Bethany
he was
Ever After,
getting
excuse me.
a lot of screen time.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something dark there. The way he is torturing her.
I'd like personally, and I'll take this on myself to go back through this new lens. Maybe there's more
Yeah.
clues
Yeah.
there than we think.
I think that's
Because
a good
he
idea.
also seemed to have a very close, good relationship with his parents, who seemed like nice, wholesome people.
Normal people.
Yeah, and so for him to get here, I don't know if the fame got to him in a really real
I
way.
I think it's all about Skinny Girl and the money.
Yeah,
I think what I've heard, he quit his job or something to manage
Yeah.
Skinny Girl. He's not getting the money, and now he's wielding her daughter against her. I think his ego is like so bruised or something. That's what I think.
It's awful.
It's awful.
Should we
But
take a
if-
break?
Guys, we're back. Before we go to Vanderpump, I have a news story about Vanderpump I just wanted to bring to our attention.
Please do.
I mean, it's not big news. Brittany Cartwright and Jax Taylor are moving into their first home.
I thought you were going to say are getting divorced.
Oh, when I saw it, I breathlessly opened it. A $1.8 million home. Wow. Great.
Good for them.
Good for them. I thought that was pretty big. And then we have a couple more news stories that are not as fun. Kim Zolciak ordered to pay $215,000 she owes to American Express.
Now that is not surprising. I have been, as has Andy, been worried about their finances for a long time. He is not
You've
working
been up at
right.
night.
I have been. He's not working. He's not playing anymore for the Falcons.
No.
I don't think he was a star.
But they do
player.
have a television show.
But it's
But they spend.
they
spend.
spend.
I mean,
They spend.
the lip upkeep alone
On her embryo.
and all of those.
And Ariana's
she
coming
has-
down the pike.
And she
Yeah.
has 6 kids, all
6
of them
kids.
who are on her payroll.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The cook.
Do you think that Brielle gets her own check for being on that show? Or do you think they get like, here's a family check?
No, I bet she gets her own check, but it's not a big one.
How much do you think her cameo is?
Her cameo.
Oh. $35?
I got a cameo from Carl for my husband's birthday, which was a couple weeks ago. And Carl from Summer House.
Okay,
I
I'm not
watch.
a Summer House.
I don't know.
Oh,
Sorry.
Summer House.
How
is
much is
amazing.
Carl going for though?
Carl is only $30, which I feel like is the absolute cap of what I would spend on a cameo. But Carl
I've
knocked it
spent-
out of the park. He like turned it around in like 12 hours.
That's a Sonia Morgan move. I mean, she turns it around. She's just in the
I
airport.
actually want another one from her. I just want to
I
hear
wouldn't
from her.
mind touching base.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
hey, Sonia, how are you?
It feels nice.
Send me a cameo.
We don't have her phone number, but we can just ask for a cameo. We're just like, how you doing?
It's so wild
touch
that
down with
Cameo
us.
is bridging that gap of like, not only are these people already feel like our friends, oh, you can talk to them and they will say your name.
Yeah. We had a question for Carl and he answered it.
Okay.
And
Wow.
he was
You know,
lovely.
I'm still waiting on my cameo from what's his name from 30 Day Fiance.
90 Day Fiancé.
90 Day Fiance.
Which one?
The guy from Amsterdam with Darcy.
Oh,
I bought that.
I know he never turned it around. I never got it.
he took your money and left.
He took
which
took
is
our
what
money
he did
and
to
ran.
Darcy too.
Exactly.
I just
Are
wanted
you
him
watching
to say,
Love After
cut it on
Lockup?
the bias.
I don't know that I get that show.
Love After Lockup season 2. I said it last week. It's life-changingly good.
So there's a service in the
S.U. Arvis?
Oh, I wish. There's a service in the UK called Hayu, Hayu, and it's a streaming Netflix.
Is that like Hulu, but just said with a British accent? Hello.
It's even better. Hey you, and it's only trashy American reality shows.
Wow.
And it's like £3 a month, and it's all the housewives, all the botched, all the Kardashians, like all that. But there's a TLC in the UK, and they show 90 Day Fiance, but it's 2 seasons behind, so they don't. So I don't
But
get.
you can't
90
just
Day-
go to iTunes and get. You could.
No, you can't buy it from the UK. You can't buy the American shows like from the UK.
Oh.
So you can.
Some sort of tariff?
Yeah, there's a trade war on reality shows.
That's a where I can get behind.
Yeah.
Yes. That's a where I'll take to the streets for.
Yeah.
But I would be all about Love After Lockup just from the title alone.
And just remember it because when it comes around.
Yeah.
There was one more piece of news, which is that it's so dark
Southern
though.
Charm. Oof.
I honestly can't even read the whole thing. Thomas Ravenel offered an Uber driver $500 to wipe cocaine off of him. He tried to amputate Catherine Dennis's arm.
What?
And there's
Hand.
another hand, sorry.
In a car door.
Like on purpose or just?
There's an even darker detail I won't get into, but it's just madness. That guy's such an animal.
Oh, he's an animal. I mean, we saw that in his eyes.
Is
Yeah.
Southern Charm like? This is not me saying, "Oh, we need him." I'm more saying, what is it now?
That's an interesting question that I don't
Thank
know the
you.
answer to.
Because we got Cameron with a kid, and I don't mean to like mom shame, but it's hard. She's
Yeah.
not out with the kids.
She was always.
I mean, she was always sort of the, like, hey guys, I eat like a man, but I'm going home to my husband who won't appear on the show. Like that was kind of her vibe, like the voice
Yes.
of reason. And I just don't need that.
And I love that we have Catherine, but she's now a reasonable human being. And
I don't need that either.
that doesn't make for the best reality
Especially don't
television.
need it if she hasn't written me back on my.
She still
poured my
hasn't.
heart out to her on
You
Twitter.
really did.
Anyway,
Speaking of that, I would like to thank everyone. I know last week I sounded really sad and desperate when I said that I needed words of affirmation. I really just meant it, in my from my husband, and my friends. But everybody reached out and gave me such nice words of
That's so
affirmation. It was so
nice.
kind. Our listeners are so
and it sounds
nice
like your
and
daughter
sweet.
gave you a lot on Mother's
Oh,
Day,
yeah, she
as
did.
deserved.
Deservedly so.
No,
So I
but
just wanted
you
to
are
say
deserved of that.
thank you so much to our listeners. It was so kind and so sweet, and it really made me
And
feel
you really
good.
want more.
And I'll still take more. The lines are still open.
Well, because you're still empty. You're just
Oh,
like
yeah.
a water through a sieve.
I'm like Vicky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
you know?
affirmation tank is
it's
empty.
It's empty. It goes right through me, and I shit it out, and I need more.
Okay, Vanderpump Rules.
Ooh.
I am so glad that we finally acknowledged the James Kennedy cocaine problem of it all.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah,
It is about
Yeah.
the pasta.
it is about the pasta. I also think that James Kennedy needs to be fired, even though it will ruin his life.
Wow.
Silence has fallen. That's hard to hear.
I just don't see a way forward with him
You don't
on
see a
the
path.
show. No.
Wow. What about, do you see him on that show, him and Raquel on like Your Face or Mine or whatever that show
Oh
was?
my God. him and Raquel on Your Face or Mine.
Isn't that a great path for them? Maybe
That would be a great. I would pay real money to see that.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question to you guys? Why does Lisa hate Kristen so
She
much?
hates her.
She hates her.
Is
I find it so wonderfully amusing.
Shut up, Kristen.
she just
Kristen's like, really?
and she's like, they're like, why couldn't Kristen come to that party? And she's like, I mean, there just wasn't enough room. It wasn't my party. It's like, but everybody
And also,
else
like, she's
came.
a cast member on your show, and you know she's bringing the drama, so she must really hate her.
What is
Yeah.
it? Because other people have exhibited just as terrible behavior.
But that's how
Lala,
I feel about
James.
Kristen, and I've excused everyone else's behavior but hers and Katie's.
I now have turned around on Kristen and feel bad for her, which I never thought I'd say. But watching Lisa dole it out and Kristen just being like, yeah, I'll win you over, Lisa. And it's like, no, Kristen, you're not going to. Like,
gonna
I
happen.
understand that pluck.
Guys,
think-
what happened to me, and this is very wild, is when I went to go watch Reunion Part 2,
Mhm.
I didn't realize I had Reunion Part 2 also downloaded on my iPad from last year. So I watched for 30 minutes. Now, guys, this is how like crazy the shows are. If you go back, things were obviously like a little off, but we were really picking up on some same storylines here.
Oh
So
my God,
it was
totally.
Lala being like, how dare you do this to me, to James? I thought we were friends. And James like, what do you want me to do? You want me to apologize? And he's like, yes, I know I called your boyfriend fat slut, a fat ass. And it's like, these are all the things we're still wrestling with.
Yeah, I guess.
And then it hit me. And then they were like, is it about the pasta, James? And I'm like, okay, this is from last year. And I re-racked.
I mean, just goes to show us the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah. Oh my God. 100.
Brittany
million
finding
percent.
a voice.
Brittany is found her voice, and guess what? It is screechy.
It sure is. Oh my God.
I cannot believe Jax Taylor showed Lady Gaga a photo of Britney's naked breasts.
I would like to see a photo of Britney's naked breasts.
I would too. They're
I bet they're
so,
beautiful. Buoyant?
Buoyant. And
Yes.
yes, buoyant.
Yeah.
And pointy.
Yeah.
I feel like
In a good way.
Yeah.
Britney without clothes is probably more attractive than Britney in clothes. Like I feel like the clothes she wears
Wow.
does her body a disservice.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to go the other way. Wow. I love that. I mean, I
Yeah.
think she's so beautiful. Why is Stassi wearing the same dress from her testimonials?
I believe it to be a different dress because I have
Danielle?
also thought about this long and hard, Casey.
because they only give that crew one testimonial look. So we've seen it.
I know, but
Yeah.
I think it's a different look than the reunion. They are both green dresses and they are both very
Why does she
revealing
think
of
Oh
her
this
my
is the
bosom.
God.
look for her? It's not.
It's not the
That
look for her.
testimonial dress, it was
It's obscene.
dangerous.
It was
It, oh yeah, it was like a rock on the precipice. The whole season.
Yeah, it made me nervous. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm going to see Nip
It was like
in a
watching
minute.
Free Solo.
Free boobies?
Free duo? I don't know.
Yeah. It's just so.
I know, it really is. We are, you're standing right on a precipice. We're all
I
about to
was very
fall.
happy to get to a little bit more of the bottom, but I really wanted many more details about Lala and Ariana's sexual encounter.
Anytime they mention it, I'm attracted
I
to
love
that.
that Tom
whole
Sandoval's
thing.
annoyed. He's like, I'm not their Uber driver, as they're having sex in the back seat. Two women, which you'd think a man at least would be a little interested.
Yeah, he seemed just frustrated by the whole thing.
Yeah, he was like, I gotta get home and practice my trumpet.
I want more than anything for Ariana to find a woman who will love her the way that she deserves to be loved.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like it when women call their vaginas their cookie.
It's disgusting.
I find it upsetting because all I can picture is like a
It's Lala's
Chips
face.
Ahoy.
Why has she done this?
no, I don't know.
Did she fuck with her face?
Oh yeah,
Ryan.
she admittedly so.
On
That's
the
unfortunate.
reunion, well, okay, last year's reunion, she hadn't fucked with it as much because, of course, I was comparing the two. But this year, I saw a big difference.
Close up and personal with
I'm
She's
gonna-
both.
so beautiful. Her lips, I'm no tagging because I really like her and I don't want to get on her or Fofty's bad side.
No, you don't.
No.
No.
No, we've seen how that goes down. Not well.
What do you make of? I kind of thought, am I crazy that it was sweet Tom Sandoval just like blind devotion to James? But I think he really is just trying to be the only person that's sticking up for him.
I do agree to some extent that they're all so awful that is what James did any more awful? I don't know.
Well, that's the thing too, is like Jax is on his high horse right now, and it is hard to watch because he's done what James has done and worse so many times over again that to pretend that he hasn't is insane. And also Jax is 30 years older than James.
Yes.
So like it's like James is still a child. So like Jax, we've excused your behavior like 10 minutes ago for the same awful behavior. So it's weird for
I'm sorry, I'm just remembering. How about when Lisa basically defended Jax and was like, he was at the mercy of Faith?
Yeah.
Like, that is
Yeah,
something
that
someone
was
of that
crazy.
generation would say.
And that
she
is
was
how
like, Faith
Lisa
should never
is.
have filmed it, and Jax was like kind of like caught in the crosshairs.
She said he was set up.
Yeah.
I do think the difference between Jax and James, while they exhibit a lot of the same behavior, is that Jax always has a bit of instant remorse where I know I did this thing wrong, but I'm sorry and I'm going to get better. Whereas James is like, yeah, I fucking did it. So what? I'd do it again. And I think that's the problem with James is he keeps doubling down on this negativity where it makes it impossible for any of these people to have a relationship with him. So why should he be on the show?
I like him. I know he doesn't say the right thing. I know he never says the right thing. Jax does seem to be getting, I think what Tom Sandoval said was right. Jax is getting a high off of like proving to everyone this whole thing and off of his wedding. And when this all comes down, I'm very nervous about the come down from the wedding.
Oh, and we all know this is only going to last so long.
Yeah.
And
he's going to knock her up. She's going to get pregnant. She's going to put a baby in her belly for sure.
What do we do on Vanderpump with a baby? Where are we then?
Well,
I don't know. That's a good question.
I think that what we need with Vanderpump now is for the original cast, the Toms and Katies, Ariana, Braxton.
What are you saying?
Jackson, Brittany. Now they've all moved together. I think we need to move them off to we're in our 30s and settling down, having kids show. And we need a like James and a Lala and the drunk 20-somethings screwing and fighting again.
I don't know if I can go through
And
this
Billy
again.
Lee betwixt and between the
No,
two.
just keep Billy Lee on the young ones, maybe.
Okay.
But I just don't think that
But don't you think what's kind of great about the concept is that they are way too old to be doing this?
I think that
But it's gonna turn.
I just think that the original promise of Vanderpump Rules is no longer being fulfilled, and I don't think we have a show about people in their early 30s like trying to figure out how to navigate buying their first homes and having their kids and growing up and maturing a little bit. And so I think that's interesting, but I also want a show of people fighting and fucking. And so
And we can't have both?
I don't not with Tom and Katie and the rest of they're not gonna fight and fuck anymore.
Katie haven't fucked in a long time, correct?
No, but they're fighting.
Oh,
and so
yeah.
we'll get all of them still hanging out and fighting and being awful to each other. But I want another group of people doing what they were all doing before.
I like how you say the promise of the original show like it was like a masthead or like Declaration of Independence, and they need to really make good on that.
Yeah.
They all signed it.
Right.
Right.
Well, it was like that we started watching the show with these 20-somethings
Well,
working
we
in
were
it.
forced. We were tricked into watching
Oh,
it
we were
because we thought it
totally
was an
tricked into
episode of
watching it.
Housewives of Beverly Hills.
This is Sheena Marie. I'll never forget. I know where I was, and I know where Sheena was standing when we first met.
Oh, me too. I remember being so confused. I was in my old house in my old bedroom, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
I was like, "Why are we tilting the
watching?"
story to this caterer?"
My sister
Yeah.
had to call me and explain it to
break
me.
the news.
I was like, "Wait, I'm watching a different show." I'm
Yeah.
so confused.
I boycotted the first several seasons
Oh,
of
as did
Vanderpump Rules
we.
because I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
no, Andy, I will not. You cannot do this to me.
I remember that. That really upset you.
Yeah.
I was like, I will not fall for this trick.
Yeah.
And then
here
I
we
fell,
all are.
And
fell in
now-
it like a bed of feathers.
Here we are.
Anything else? I mean,
We have one more part to go. Let's see how they destroy each other next week.
yeah. Next week we'll tell.
Yeah.
Should we go to Potomac?
Let's. Okay, Danielle, we're back with Candace's wedding.
Yes, we are.
Now, again, all of this is we're kind of living in a pre-world before
before what goes down with Ashley.
with Ashley's man, which I was reminded by Brian. Ashley's man, I just kept thinking, oh yeah, I remember he was arrested for lewd conduct, but of course it's because what did he do exactly, Brian?
I believe he grabbed a cameraman's buttocks
Okay.
Okay.
and has been removed from appearing on the show.
Wow.
Interesting.
This is sensational.
If I remember correctly.
Okay.
Hashtag me too.
I mean, I guess with Nene, they're just like, we're fine with you snapping a camera person's shirt off and cracking
breaking
a tooth.
his teeth.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
And you having no remorse about it whatsoever.
I mean, for us not to know that, for that to come out in the review.
And then when they're like, oh, and he went to the hospital, she's like, I didn't know that. Like, that's not information I knew of, so I don't care.
I just thought she tore his t-shirt, and for it to come out that she took out teeth and he was in the hospital.
And everyone was like, he did go to the hospital, Nene.
Yeah. Right. Like, how did you not include that in
And
the
someone's
show?
like, I think his teeth were cracked. And she was like, well, didn't know.
Right.
It's like, okay.
He had gross teeth anyway.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta love her.
So Candace's mother, the things she was saying to Candace in the dress shop when we were trying on the dress were pretty tough.
Yeah.
Pretty unforgivable.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, I was getting my hair and makeup done when I was watching it, and the two hair persons, these guys had never seen the show, and they were like, oh my God, I can't believe that's how a mother would speak to her daughter. And I said, honestly, this is a very pleasant interaction.
Yeah.
For what we've seen with moms.
I am finding Candace so hateful this season.
Uh-huh.
So, though I find her mother's behavior detestable and how she's treating, I get that, like, her husband cheated. He had another child out of wedlock. That's awful. But Candace should be allowed to invite her brother to her wedding. I believe that. But I do think Candace is such a spoiled brat that it's
wedding
hard
dress
to
was so
root for her.
awful. When her mom said, do you like it? When it came out, I was like, oh, her mom is so good.
Those strange ribbons on the side
Like
of it.
pearl lapels and...
I still liked it more than Camille's.
Yeah.
That was going to be my next question.
Camille's.
The worst. But Candace, the whole wedding.
And when she was crying, and I hate when brides turn on their bridesmaids. Like the bridesmaids are just like trying to talk and say hi. And Candace is like, shut the door. I can't with them right now. Shut the door. And crying. It's like, and then she said, my entire life has lived up to this moment. People need to calm down with it. Like her and Brittany need to stop.
Yeah.
It's just really
it's just going to be a
embarrassing.
letdown. After the wedding, that's it.
Well, when they get divorced, it'll be very embarrassing.
Yeah.
To think back on this.
And neither of these marriages looks like it's headed for any sort of highs.
Yeah, because her mom and dad paid for this entire thing. $200,000
That
wedding.
is insane. That is insane. If you were asking your parents to pay an insane amount of money for your wedding, then it's their wedding.
But they're also supporting them. It's not just that they're paying for the wedding.
Oh, I know. It's like that.
And for her to be like, I finally got my dream day, and just know she's done kind of nothing to contribute to it. And the wedding planner's like, we're in a dream world. The wedding planner's like, look, we put clouds on the ceiling, and it was very beautiful.
It was. Gorgeous. Except for the part when Candace sang at her own wedding.
And she was like, I got a little something up my sleeve for Chris.
I was shocked. For some reason, because she was a pageant girl and stuff, I thought she had talent. I don't know why that I was under that delusion, but when she opened her mouth and sang that song,
does anyone want anyone to sing for them unless it's like a very legitimate band we know and love?
The only person I want to sing for me is
Barbra Streisand.
It's Melania Giudice.
Oh my God.
Well, that's
yeah.
Is Melania on Cameo?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a good question. Can you be on it when you're under 18?
What were her backup dancers' names?
Tay-Tay and Stephanie.
Yeah, I'd love to get them on Cameo too.
Oh my God. How much? I bet you could get their Cameo for like $750.
Yeah.
Gia got into Rutgers.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for her.
Gia's going to Rutgers.
Do you think they like photoshopped her head onto a crew member's body?
Well,
to get her in there?
It is the State University of New Jersey, so I don't know that they had to try too hard.
Did they?
But
They
that
might
any
have.
Giudice is going to college seems a little
Wonderful.
unlikely.
It seems
I'm
wonderful.
proud of her.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
proud
very
of her.
proud of her too.
Me too.
Gia.
Very proud.
So back to Potomac.
Yeah, Candace's wedding was okay. First of all, I felt so bad for Giselle. So the whole episode, Giselle is so excited to be going to the wedding with Sherman.
Sherman does not deserve Giselle.
I know, and I'm sure Giselle's a bit of a handful.
Oh, she's a handful, but Sherman is a piece of shit.
Sherman doesn't want to be on TV,
No.
which is a normal quality that we now like look down upon when we watch. But
Yes.
we need to pull back and realize, like, no, Cameron's husband is the smart one.
Yes.
Sherman is the smart one. And of course, he didn't want to, run into Monique, who had said
some terrible things about him last season.
very tough things. But he called her 2 hours before the wedding and said he wasn't coming in for a woman like Giselle to embarrass her like that. as Ashley said, to see her vulnerable, and she was crying the whole wedding. It was so embarrassing.
She's never that jumpsuit was gorgeous though.
I
She's
know,
never looked
because
more
she
beautiful.
was looking forward to it.
But I have to say, Sherman knew who he was dating. Why get back together with her?
Same with Tinsley's man.
Why
Yes.
promise
What do you think?
her
Right.
that you're going to be at this wedding if you're going to pull out an hour beforehand? No.
And Kenya's husband, what are these men thinking?
Mark Daly?
Well, like, they're on TV and
Right.
they still seem upset about it.
And this is what you're signing up for.
And this is your income stream,
Yes.
not for the Coupon King.
And I don't understand why they can't. The Coupon King is different because I think the problem was he wanted Tinsley in Chicago, but she couldn't be in Chicago when she's making her money in New York. But for Mark Daly, it's like, just let her be on the show and not be on the show.
But why can't Tinsley just go on the weekends to see him? Who cares?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
They
Where
don't
did
film
Kenya
all year
move?
round. To New York, right?
Yeah.
Why can't we bump her onto New York?
I would love
I-
that. Is that possible?
Why can't Kenya have her own damn show? I
Thank
love
you,
her
Brian.
so
You know
I would
I've been
love
calling
that.
for this since day one.
She is.
Look, we're in the minority of
genius.
this opinion. I'm telling you.
I would. Have you been watching the Portia show?
No, I want to. I have to dip down into it. I just haven't
I've
had
been
the hours
saving
right
it
now.
for a moment when I can really.
Yeah, I feel like a plane ride. I'm going to watch like
Yeah.
6 hours of it and be in heaven. I have a plane ride coming up and I'm really looking
Oh,
forward to touching
it's-
down on that.
It's going to
She's
be
amazing.
the best
I mean,
plane
she
ride of your
is-
life.
I'm going to go on a limb and say there is no one funnier on television right now. I'd put her up there with Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I'm saying it.
Me too.
She is.
What if she was
flawless.
nominated in that category? It's like
I
Julia
would
Louis-Dreyfus,
appreciate it. I would stand up and
Mrs.
cheer.
Maisel,
Right. And
and
Portia.
Portia.
I know.
I would love it.
I literally laugh out loud
She is
watching
the
Portia.
funniest
too.
fucking person on TV.
I used to hate her.
Me
Me
too.
too.
But I have
It would be
come
like
around.
if Camille suddenly started acting like Tina Fey. It's
And
a
it's
Yes.
just-
Oh my god, 100%.
It's just like, what?
She
I can make
says
heads
the
nor- head nor tails of
smartest,
it.
Funniest, and granted, she has said some of the dumbest things on TV, but she just didn't know. I'm giving her a
Yeah.
pass on
She
many
Simply didn't know
things.
better.
She still says some of the dumbest things.
Yes, but she also
she's
says
so-
some of the smartest and
But
funniest.
she wears it so
Yeah.
well now.
Yes. I think that she just needed to come into her own in a way that,
She's so quick.
yeah,
There's no one quicker than her.
no.
And she's someone, for her getting married it's like it's in the right place in her life and time where it's not this desperation, even though yes, she really did want to get engaged, and it was more like cute and fun. It didn't feel as heavy and dramatic as it does
No.
with Candace and with Sheena Shea and with Tinsley. It's like,
Yes.
I'd love to see the three of them kind of like not on that Millionaire Matchmaker, but like something where we're just seeing them going on dates and trying. And
I feel like that would be a very
I think
dark
Tinsley
show.
should try A Prisoner, perhaps. And I don't mean it funny. I just
Love
mean like,
after lockup.
yeah, because there's men very nice men that would like to be with a woman. Now,
Speaking of Millionaire Matchmaker, I saw a guy that I dated in high school on that show once. Yeah. It was
so he's a
shocking.
millionaire?
I don't know. I mean, possibly, but
Wow.
I remember he was not
Where
a
is
very
old
good
Patty
kisser.
Stanger?
She's just
I
like in
don't
her
know.
like coffin. I mean,
Didn't she
like a
say
vampire.
like a bunch of stupid stuff?
She said some
it
really
sounds
terrible
like her.
things.
That sounds like her.
Yeah.
She's kind of a nightmare.
Quickly, just to wrap up about Potomac, I loved watching Giselle and Karen Huger sitting next to
Oh,
each
I
other
loved
and
it.
literally not saying one word at Candace's wedding. It was
No.
amazing. And how about the deep voice of Monique's husband?
Oh,
It is wild.
It
I thought I
is.
was listening to someone, when they don't want to show a murderer and they put a voice box over him.
Yes.
And it was him.
Wait, can we talk about the best quote of the entire show? When Karen says about Ashley, Ashley says one more thing, I will sue her for her restaurant and give it to her mother.
She knows they're in a huge
Oh
fight.
my
It's so
God.
good. It's so good.
I laughed out loud. I thought that was the funniest thing I had ever heard.
I think Robin's breezier. I'm loving Robin back with her guy. With Juan, that's amazing. And I did love seeing Ashley get so drunk, and more is to come on that. She drank way too much.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
This is
yeah.
I am just waiting to get to this reveal. They're going to terrorize her when this
Oh,
happens.
yeah.
And that's not fair, but
That's
I
not fair.
will
Yeah, but I'm
bear
ready.
witness.
I'm ready for it.
What else am I to do but bear
whatever we're
witness?
leading to, like let's get there. Let's get to stepping. I'd
Let's
like
get
to,
there.
Let's get there.
And you know what? Fuck you, Sherman.
Fuck you, Sherman. You don't deserve our Queen Giselle.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Brian.
Any last thoughts, Brian?
No, just that I love you all and thank you for letting me spend my birthday with you talking about all our television friends.
All of our friends, they all wish you a happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
All of them except for Ramona. She's having
and Lisa Vanderpump.
Have you seen A Lady of London? Just quickly, last thing.
Have I seen A Lady of London? No, but I did meet someone from Made in Chelsea, though that matters. You don't even know what that is.
Yes, sure. Of course I know.
I've heard tell.
I saw from Ladies of London the main woman. God, why am I blanking on her
Caroline
name?
Stanbury.
Caroline
Yeah.
Stanbury on $1 million listing.
Mm-hmm. How's she? What's she up to?
Well, you know, she's moved to
Dubai?
Dubai.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, you know, I love it here. Yes, you have to wear very long dresses, but it's fine. It's fine. Because of the dress code.
Fabulous.
She needs her own show, too.
I know.
love her.
And
Yeah.
she was
I miss
like,
the
I love
ladies
Dubai.
of London. I miss them.
Well, they drove out to the middle of the desert and like set up a luxury 5-star picnic for her.
I gotta watch that.
It's wild.
Thank you so much for being here.
Oh my God,
Brian.
thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Brian. Brian, tell us where we can find you, all of your, everything you're involved in.
Turns out you can find him in London.
You can find me in London
Sorry.
anytime you want. Just come on by. And you can find me on all the socials at Brian J. Moylan and on...
Read his Vulture recaps, the funniest fucking things in the whole
Yeah,
world.
Does
on
Vulture
Vulture.
regularly thank you for the work you're doing?
I hope so. You now have to pay for Vulture. It's like $5 a month. And I feel like I should get a cut.
Wait, when did this start?
I
feel like I'm
6
looking at
months
it every
ago.
day.
You get so many free articles
Yeah,
a
I
month.
feel-
And then it's
That
like...
is happening because I've been realizing now it's like you're out of your free articles, and I'm like, what? This has never happened before. And
Is
that's why
Vulture
that's
making money
happening.
doing that?
I hope. They're still paying me.
Right. No, I bet they will because I love Vulture.
Yeah,
Seems I'm behind on a few things right
Yeah,
now.
as am I.
that's okay.
And if anybody wants to find us, we'll be in San Francisco June 1st. We have a 7 o'clock and a 10 o'clock show.
Come and see us.
Come and see us and our surprise guest.
It's going to be very exciting. And Danielle, you wanted to recommend a podcast you were telling me about.
Guys, I'm listening to a podcast and it's a dooz. It's called To Live and Die in LA. And
Oh,
wow.
Sounds like my nightmare.
It is. It's a wild ride and it's kind of upsetting, but I am in it. So I suggest it highly. Get it. Live and Die in LA. I'm really wrapped up in it.
Now, as a very final thought, I'm remembering my friend Blair wanted me to share with the listeners that she felt in Vanderpump Rules reunion, Lisa Vanderpump looked like Michael Jackson.
I can see it.
Oh, I also want
And
to
I hate
recommend
to bring him up.
one thing. Also, I watched our dear friend Kulop's movie.
Origin Story.
Oh my God. I've been thinking about it ever since. It's on Amazon Prime. It came out this weekend and I knew the story of her family, but I cannot stop thinking of it. It's an incredible documentary that Casey's actually in. And Kulop directed it and stars in it, obviously. And
It's about her journey finding her birth father and her parents who came over from Laos. It is the most heart-wrenching, unbelievable documentary.
incredible documentary. So please, you won't be sorry. I cannot stop thinking
And
about
we're
it.
doing a bonus episode where I'm interviewing Kulop about it.
Yes.
It's the
incredible.
best origin story on Amazon.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Lyra.
Brian. Thank you, Lyra.
Good night, all.
Good night.